What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another Dragon Age Inquisition video, and today we're going to be doing another dragon kill. We are in the Emerald Graves, and we're going to be taking on the Greater Mistral Ice Dragon. You can kind of see here on the map, kind of showing you where you'll need to go in order to find this dragon. As with most of the other maps, these dragons seem to kind of hide out in the northern sections of the maps. You kind of sometimes you'll just stumble upon them. Other times you might have to actually look for a bit of a guide to find out their location. But you can kind of see Twisted Tree Rise is where we're at. You can see she just kind of popped up on the map over here as we got a little too close. So we're going to head over here and fight her and see what she has to offer. This is an ice dragon, and this is another dragon that if you use a melee heavy team is not really going to be too much of a problem. You see there she does shoot the giant ice blast there, and that will freeze some of your party members and immobilize them. And she does have some really powerful ranged ice attacks that are really designed to take out some of your ranged characters. So I think that's one of the things I found a lot of these dragon fights a little disappointing, but it seems like certain dragons are geared towards melee and certain are geared towards ranged. And like this ice dragon and some of the lightning dragons I've fought so far, it's been a situation where if you're using a melee heavy team, that's a little bit more effective against them, and I guess that's why I'm not really finding these fights to be a huge challenge. But I can say I did try to fight the dragon on the Storm Coast, Visnomer, and trying to use this melee strategy, and she completely kicked my butt, so I'm going to have to try again on that dragon. But this is the fourth dragon I believe that I've taken on so far, and still this melee strategy seems to work pretty well. Blackwall is just a ridiculously good tank, and he seems to just take all the damage for just about everybody. Now after you do a certain amount of damage, she does take off, and she'll kind of fly around in circles, and she'll fire some more ice bolts, which are usually fairly easy to dodge. The only time this becomes an issue is when your idiot AI-controlled teammates kind of walk right into it, but that's really the only time I ever had a problem with her little ice shots there. And sometimes she does kind of, you lose focus of where she is, and she kind of hides, and you can see there she almost blasted us with that one, but really not too difficult to dodge there. And since those ice attacks, they don't really have a huge AoE like some of the fire attacks you face with some of these dragons, so it's really not a huge problem. So we're just going to continue to whittle down her health here a little bit. Almost got her halfway. And again, I'm just using my archer, and we're just kind of pegging away from distance, using some poison arrows, a couple of other abilities, and just letting the melee fighters go in there and kind of deal with it. Some of these dragon fights, like I said, they're pretty low maintenance. You don't even really have to use your tactical view, which I've also found out to be kind of useless in this game because it doesn't seem like your teammates listen to you half the time anyways, so I don't really find much of a point to using it. And it's another reason I really hope they don't go with this combat style for Mass Effect Andromeda, which that was kind of a nasty rumor going around a few months ago. They were talking about how they wanted to make the combat for Mass Effect Andromeda a little bit more like Dragon Age, and I really, really hope that doesn't happen because I think the combat works in Dragon Age and some of the older ones especially, but for this game, I just find it kind of lackluster at times. It's like you just hold the button down and do the same attack over and over and over again. And you do throw in a couple of special attacks now and then, but for the most part, it's I don't know. I couldn't see this working for a Mass Effect game at all. So again, she just takes off when she gets to a certain. It seems like every quarter of her health, she takes off and does this little flyby, and she managed to, I think, hit Iron Bull there with her ice. But that's a pretty easy attack to dodge if you're paying attention. And like I said, you just let your melee guys go in and deal with her when you sit out here at range. Or if you're a melee heavy character, this is another dragon that'll come in handy on. She just does not seem to really have much to deal with the melee character. You see there, as long as you're out of the range of her ice breath, although she did clip Blackwall, you can see how much damage it actually did do to him. So that's why you don't want to be at range with her out of distance. And then whenever these dragons do this vortex attack, I've seen a lot of people who will try to just stay out of that. You cannot stay out of it. You've got to run into it. That's the only way to really get it to stop. And the longer you stay outside its radius, the more damage you'll take, and the longer you'll take damage. So as soon as the dragons start flapping those wings and doing that vortex attack, you've got to run towards her, get into her as quickly as possible. That's another reason it's good to have the melee guys, like I said, is they are already there, so they're not going to take as much damage being inside her, inside her little circle. You see there, we got her down to a quarter life, so now she's taking off again. She's going to go fly around and shoot her ice balls at us once again. But this is one of the easier dragon fights I've had so far. Lightning dragons, even though they were pretty easy, did seem to be a little bit more difficult. And you see their Blackwall gets nailed with that ice attacks. He's just standing there. You know, it's like I said, the AI in this game is pretty stupid. And he did almost get one-shotted by that. So you do have to watch out for those ice blasts, especially if you're using a melee or a ranged team with some mages, or if you have another rogue on your team that's using archery. So gotta watch out for those ranged attacks with her. And you see here we've almost got her down. We got one of her legs wounded. That's one of the cool things I do like about this is when you actually do target their individual limbs and you manage to damage one all the way. They do they actually like kind of limp around on it for a while. It's pretty cool, you know, for having such a large scale creature in the game to see all the cool things they do with them. So she's taking off again. One last final time here before we can take her down. And this should really be it here. Once she comes back down, we will finish her off and see if we get any kind of sweet loot here, because that's really all we're doing this for, is to try to get some really good legendary loot. And there she goes. We got her. Took her down. That's 4 dragons now out of 10. Working on that achievement. And we'll see what kind of loot she gives up here. Hopefully we get some cool stuff. Where her skull went. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll run over here and walk slowly over here. Walk slowly after killing the dragon. And you just pick up their skull, and then hopefully we get some good stuff here, because I need some good gear. Been picking up some pretty decent gear running through some of the DLC stuff, but really need to get some better weapons and some better armor for some of my characters, because I was trying the DLC with the dwarves, and it's pretty hard. Even being over leveled a little bit for it, the enemies were giving me a hard time, so it's pretty tough. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this Dragon Kill video. Hope you guys enjoyed the little look at Dragon Age Inquisition here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again next time.